So I say, my name is Dennis Flynn. I'm the project manager for the reconstruction of White Island, and I understand there's a lot of, concerned people about what the work that's going on out there now, and I want to apologize first of all for not coming here sooner. The process in which we're going forward on this is a little bit different than we normally do a capital project. Just to give you a little bit of background, the work that's going out there now is called the mitigation work for another project that wasn't a Parks Department project. It wasn't a Parks Department project for work that's going on along the Bell Parkway. So back about, I want to say 10 years ago, Parks was given the responsibility of reconstructing the island. There was an attempt made about 10 years ago, and sort of the island was cleared, and then it got to a certain point when we realized we were hoping to get free sand from dredging projects, and then it was found out that we weren't going to be able to get it, and then based on the funding, we just didn't have enough money to complete the project at that time. We fast forward, we jump 10 years from now, or 10 years, and we're at a point now where it's a DEC, or Department of Environmental Conservation mandated project, which we were given the responsibility for the reconstruction and creation of a grassland habitat, which you see here at White Island. The work that you see going on there now, it's only, if you want to look at it, almost as like a two-phase project. What we kind of need in terms for the design of the reconstruction of the island is we need an updated survey. So because the island is so heavily vegetated with phragmites and trees and shrubs, the vegetation right now is just so dense. So the work that anyone has seen is going on now is actually, if you want to call it, prepping the island so we can get a survey done, which will then be used for redesign, if you want to consider it the second phase. So within this phase, basically what we're doing is, if you went up to about, it's called a 10-foot contour, in this phase we're going to be clearing all the phragmites, the trees, the shrubs, except for there's two existing grassland areas, one along here, and there's two other small ones in this area. Those will be kept as is. So within this phase, what we'll do is we're going to clear the vegetation, have a survey come in, and then with that survey, then we can give it to, we have a consultant working on the redesign of the island, and then with that, we could then go forward with our submittals to the Department of Environmental Conservation. We're kind of at a sort of a standstill right now because any preliminary submissions that we've made to DC, they will not give comments back until they get the updated survey. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But the overall, if you want to say the overall scope of the project within the redesign island, would to be then create an overall grassland habitat for migrating birds. But the other portion of the project was also is, if you remember, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, there was an emergency contract that was put out in order because there were parts of the island that were breached and garbage was leaking out. It was really a temporary solution, so within this phase what we're looking to do is do a much more permanent solution. Some of it might be through with natural vegetation. Other parts where the sides of the island are steeper, we'll go more with possibly like a riprap or a stone, and it has to be done that way because the steepness of the slopes. Like I said, at this point it's a little bit different because we don't have any finalized plans, but it's more, I guess tonight's more like an update of the work that's going on there now. So, like I said, within this phase right now, we're basically going to be clearing. There's a small strip around the island that won't be cleared because that's all it's all vegetation from the 10-foot elevation down, which at this point we won't be touching only because in order to do that, we have to go through more DEC permits. So in order to keep everything moving along, all the work above the 10-foot contour and above, all that part of the island will be cleared. And then with that, we can get the survey, and then we can go continue with the redesign of the rest of the project. At that point, then we'll come back with more permanent solutions, and we can explain to you exactly, how the different edges are going to be treated, exactly where will be planted, the schedule of the work, of how long we expect it to continue, and answer any other questions, on that fact. But so that's basically the work that's going on at this point. Maybe any questions or? Yeah.
One, just come up with this.
And it might be easier if you guys don't mind, if you could, everyone just kind of move forward a little bit, because with the air conditioning, sometimes it's also a little bit tougher to hear.
How you doing? My name's Andy Franco. I know this island very well. I fish this area constantly. I probably put in more hours than anybody there. I have a lot of concerns. One, it used to be a dump, and all the garbage and stuff that was dumped in the 40s or 50s when this island was closed was there. Now you're digging it up. It's been unearthed. Well, I heard there was supposed to be dredging done. Also, the water around it, I heard they wanted to build boardwalks and stuff. This is a project that, I noticed the first phase, but where is it going? Also, I also have concerns about the fact that what about the life on the island now? There's 3 osprey that I know of. There's pheasants, rabbits, there's insecticides that have obviously been sprayed from what I've been told, and none of this is a concern to anybody who's doing it, but all people who, the wind blows out of the east, what are we going to be told? Don't open the windows? Also, the water mains. Plenty of people jet ski, boat, fish, they go around this island, they sit on the corner right there, swap numbers, hang out with their girlfriends, go for rides. Is this all going to be put to an end also? It seems like there's no pros with this. I mean, granted, your island might look pretty, but the wildlife that's on this island now obviously is getting the boot. From raccoons to pheasants to bird life to whatever else is there. The plants gone, whatever, that's fine. But there's more to it. There's people who use this island. That's not being considered either. Also, when does it end? Are we going to be told later on that we're not allowed anywhere back there? No voting? I mean, what is the scope of this project? How far is this going? How big is it going to be?
First of all, which I didn't get to earlier, the main goal we'll end up doing is also we'll be capping the island with sand. We're fearing probably about 2 feet of sand. So there will be no digging under the island because we don't want to open up like can of worms in terms of opening up a landfill, which is basically what we'll be doing. So we're not looking to excavate any of the existing garbage that's there. Everything will actually be capped. The only place where, again, is on the sides of the island where we're not looking to dig into the island, but instead we're stabilizing the edges with, again, permanent solutions so any garbage doesn't breach and leak out into the waterways, right? As far as I know, we haven't done any spraying for insecticides out on the island.
What about for the plants?
For the Phragmites, yes, that was sprayed, and it was actually done back in September. The problem with the Phragmites is a very tight window in which you're able to spray. And so it's basically from about August to November when the plant's at its most mature. Spraying occurred, it was done where it's pretty strict in terms of regulations for spraying, and that you can't spray over when the wind's over 5 miles an hour. There's a control about the size of the droplets, and also when you're expecting rain. Because you don't want to spray it and have it rain and then have the possibility of leaching out. So that was done.
But my problem with that, though, it's an island. It's going to leak out. It's going to rain.